They're in your car? So they're stealing her car?
Yeah, he's driving my car with my brother.
After speeding off and driving like they stole it, because they basically did, they drive the car to the parking lot of a school, block off an entrance, and box the stolen car in with their cruisers, putting the car out of view. I don't know about you, but if my car was being towed and the police were involved, I certainly wouldn't want the cops moving my vehicle from its original location without my consent, or getting inside my vehicle at all with the possibility of them tampering with or planning God knows what before the tow truck even arrives, especially when they didn't provide any paperwork documenting literally any of this.
I've never seen anything like this. Apparently, Akron police took off with this person's car at a gas station, blocked it all in because they were protesting. What were they protesting? As officers were not indicted for the murder of Jayar Walker, who was shot by 8 different cops. So, of course, protests come out once they don't do anything about this. And then the response to protests, of course, is to then attack those protesters. Hey, you know what? Take their car and run off with it. I'm still looking for a clear explanation on it. But let's go through some of the things that they were doing. Because these protests have been happening after Akron has agreed not to use tear gas, good job, pepper spray, and other types of force against non-violent protesters after a local group sued the city in federal court. And they were saying that it used excessive force in peaceful demonstrations. So it seems like they agreed because they were agreeing not to do it anymore. Now, the Akron Bail Fund, a group that supports protesters, sought a temporary restraining order in the U.S. District Court in Akron against the city at midnight on Friday that forbade the city from continuing to use these methods. So, of course, Brett, they go straight to other methods. Let's see what they did with this person's car. So no more tear gas, more with car theft. More.
Get that girl her car back! She got killed! Get that girl her car back! Yo, just gonna leave that girl stranded at the Circle K! Get that girl her car back! Give her her car back! Y'all can't take that girl's car! Now y'all gonna run that man over? Take that man! You can't take that man! You can't take him!
So we've got seeming carjack after no more protests, or at least the normal approaches that they have to protests. And now let's toss in one more egregious action from these cops while they're taking people's cars, arresting children that happen to be in the mix as well. Watch.
Let her go! Let her go! That is a child! You're abducting a child!
For a police department that is supposedly understaffed and stretched thin, the Akron Police Department sure does have enough resources to harass, intimidate, and retaliate against community activists and organizers who've done nothing but try to hold them accountable to the bare minimum standard of not murdering people. Justice for Jayar Walker.
So as you saw at the back end of that last video there, that same blue car was getting pulled off and towed away. Apparently, that was the whole purpose of them jumping in, taking off, and then having 4 or 5 cop cars follow behind them. And I like the point that she made there. We always hear about police officers that have low morale, people are quitting, we don't have enough police on the police force, that's why crime is rampant. But when it comes to something like this, catching protesters that are protesting something that these same police department is accused of doing, then they have all these cops readily available to go run off people's cars, blocking off driveways, cornering in the intersections, and all this happening. They can somehow pull that part off. So in this last part, this TikToker who filmed it then point out how also they're in coordination with this tow company that helped them jack this car.
Oh yeah, the tow companies are complicit. They get contracts with the police departments to do this. And then one of the companies was trying to tell our people that they didn't have ink and toner, so they couldn't give them like the paperwork that they needed. And let's also talk about the fact that the Akron Police Department is putting investigative holds on all of these protester vehicles. It's been reported that those investigative holds are supposed to be until May 8th. Y'all, that's 2 weeks away. Imagine being without your vehicle for 2 weeks. And then let's also talk about the fact that Windows that were closed upon towing have also been found open upon picking them up. One person's car was wet, everything inside was ruined. There was even an animal, probably like a raccoon or something, in their vehicle. And they had a full tank of gas when it got towed. And when they picked it up, it was empty. So yeah, there's a lot more to this retaliation with the towing companies than it appears.
There's a lot of aspects in her last explanation there that lead to something. We talked before, I think it was when Jank was at the Occupy Wall Street protest years ago. And he was talking about how when protesters come out, it's a bit of a privileged thing you can do to stand there, make sure you get arrested and all that stuff. Because many folks, if you have like a 9-to-5 type of job or a minimum wage or even decent wage, but you still work hourly, depending on the job, you're risking the potential loss of your work. Oh, he got arrested. Oh, man, he wasn't here. They held him over the weekend or for several days and he didn't show up. All these things end up making you look worse when it comes to things like normal income coming into your life. So the aspect of this car being taken, held for however many, 2 weeks? And then they mentioned in many points, they've got kids, they got work. All that stuff is threatened. If you don't think these cops realize that when they go through these type of tactics, and what they would see is telling other folks, don't do this or else it might happen to you, that is part of the objective here, Brett.
When it comes to, I don't know the specifics of this incident, and I don't think any of us do, and I think the reason for playing it is to just kind of show this fog of insanity that's happening in the wake of people being told that it's okay to shoot just unarmed people. People are upset because of that, and in the wake of it, all this is happening. It is very difficult. Like, there are a lot of rules against what when the police can impound your vehicle at all, when they can take it from you. In Ohio, also something that people need to know, and a lot of other places, you are responsible for any damage that happens during that process financially, and for a lot of the ways in which they could potentially impound your vehicle. And then I want to see all this follow-up. I want to see the follow-up and see exactly what the alleged reason for impounding this vehicle was, whether this person was given notice. I know that a lot of people right now, when I watch a lot of these police pullover videos, folks think they know the law, and then what they say about the law is just false. So now there's like a lot more videos of cops just being like, that's not the rule. I don't know what to tell you. But in this situation, I think it merits a follow-up to find out whether the police just showed up to impound your car so that they can find out who you are and know on a list who's against them. So that they can retaliate and probably come out scot-free, because if you can get away scot-free for shooting an unarmed person, then you probably can get away scot-free for impounding someone's car, going on a joyride and leaving a raccoon in there.
And no gas and whatever else they've done with it. I've seen people get their cars towed from police over normal traffic stops. I've never seen them take off with it. I'm just saying. I've never seen them drive a mile down the road, park it in the elementary school lot, then have the tow truck come out. I just haven't seen it before. Maybe they do new and innovative ways to confiscate vehicles in Ohio. As you said, we should find out.